Sarah, where are you?
I'm actually at a job interview right now.
You're still doing those? I thought you'd given up on working.
No, I've been studying for my accounting certification.
Accounting? That seems rather ambitious for someone like you.
I'm at a job interview right now, as I mentioned.
But you'll have to resign as soon as Michael gets transferred again. What's the use?
Actually, Michael got a permanent position at headquarters, so no more transfers. He'll still have business trips, but since we won't be moving anymore, I thought I'd start working.
Michael was always getting transferred around. I suppose that's what happens to people who aren't very capable. Not like James. He always knew exactly what he wanted.
James disappeared with gambling debts. Michael has earned every promotion he's gotten.
How dare you speak about James that way? He's just been exploring his options.
That's not what his old coworkers called it.
Whatever. Just hurry home. Do you expect me to keep waiting outside?
Wait, are you at our house?
Yes, and I'm burning up in this heat. The neighbors must think I'm suspicious standing here so long.
I'm sorry, but my interview hasn't even started yet. I've been preparing for this for months.
Months? You never mentioned this.
I did at New Year's. You said it was cute that I had goals.
Useless as always, I see. Can't even remember to tell your mother-in-law important things.
Could you maybe wait at a nearby coffee shop? The Rose Cafe is just around the corner.
Impossible. I have all my luggage with me. 7 suitcases and 3 boxes.
What?
The movers will be here soon too. I need to be at the house. They're bringing my bedroom set and dining room furniture.
Movers? For furniture?
Well, I'm going to live here now. I've already arranged everything.
Live here at our house? The 2-bedroom house?
That's fine, right? The guest room will do, though it's smaller than I'm used to.
Wait a minute. We never heard anything about this. Michael and I use that room as my office.
An office? What do you need that for? Just use the kitchen table like a normal person.
Wait a minute. Michael will be furious when he gets home. Does he even know about your plans to live with us?
Of course not. He wouldn't let me stay if he knew I was coming. So I kept it a secret and decided to surprise him. You've got to keep it a secret too.
I don't want to have anything to do with your little surprise. Michael's not going to let you stay with us.
Well, I've already sold my house.
What?
You can't blame me. I needed the money. A mother does what she must for her children.
What are you talking about?
It's nothing. Either way, I'm looking forward to living with you.
Wait a minute. You can't just barge into our house. I've got to talk about this with Michael. Margaret? Margaret!
Sarah, make sure to buy some prime steaks and hors d'oeuvres from the gourmet market for dinner. Everyone loves my beef Wellington.
Are we having guests?
Not guest. James and his wife are coming, with their precious little one.
Your older son, he's been missing for years. The same son who borrowed $50,000 from Michael's savings?
Water under the bridge. Family forgives. They're coming over this evening.
Okay, but I'm glad you managed to get in touch with them.
I know. I'm so happy too. That's why I've got to prepare a feast for them. My grandchild is coming too, so I've got to pull out all the stops for them. Apparently, he's already turned 4. I bet he must be so big.
I'd love to celebrate, but I won't be done with work until 7 p.m. Michael has an early business trip tomorrow too. Could we do this a different day?
Impossible. I've already told them. James is very busy with his investments.
You mean his gambling?
Such a sharp tongue. This is why you and I never got along. Now, why are you working so late? You used to come home earlier.
My training period is over, so I work full hours now, like most professionals do.
Professional? At your level?
I have my CPA certification now.
Numbers were always James' strength. He could do complex math in his head.
Is that how he calculated his betting odds?
Anyway, who's going to buy the food? James and Karen expect a proper welcome.
You're the only one available.
Don't be ridiculous. I don't have any money. I don't keep cash at home. Though if you have money lying around, I would be happy to go out and do the shopping. Your emergency fund, maybe?
Our emergency fund is in the bank, where it belongs.
Then what about your bank card? I'll withdraw some money for you.
I don't know how I feel about that.
So untrusting. A mother would never misuse her children's money.
I'm sorry, I just don't feel comfortable with that.
Then what am I supposed to do? I can't feed my son and his family plain old dinner. We've got to welcome them with delicacies. He can't eat anything less. He'll be so upset.
Well, there's nothing I can do about that.
Oh, I have a wonderful idea. You can order something and have it delivered to our house. Find something nice on Uber, will you?
Sure, I can do that.
Then it's decided. Make sure you order something from a restaurant with 5 stars. I won't settle for anything less. I'll know if you order something cheap.
I'd just like to confirm, but are Michael and I going to be paying for tonight's dinner?
Of course. I'm being generous enough to stay at your house and house sit while you and Michael are at work. I think that's the least you can do is pay for our dinner.
All right, then I'll order something and have it delivered.
Oh, and it looks like James and his family are staying over for the night, so you'll have to change the sheets in the master bedroom so that they can sleep there.
What? You can't just decide that. Where are Michael and I supposed to sleep? They'll have to find a hotel.
Fine. Then I'll leave that to you two. Find a place for them to stay before it gets too late.
Wait, are we going to pay for that too?
What's the problem? The family's gathering for the first time in years. You can't be so unhospitable. Are you going to complain? You're awfully stingy if you can't be generous enough to pay for their hotel when they've come all this way. I'll have to get my grandchild to call you Scrooge if you're going to be like that.
Please don't do that. All right, I'll book their hotel.
Oh, Sarah!
Yes, I'm sorry, but I'm at work, so I can't talk for long.
Sarah, pack your things when you get home from work. Since it's Friday, you can move out over the weekend.
Excuse me?
Don't play dumb. James and his family are living here now, so you and Michael need to leave. Let Michael know when he gets back from his business trip.
What are you talking about? This is our house. We've lived here for 3 years.
This is your property, right? The one you inherited?
Yes, I inherited it from my great-aunt Catherine.
The one you barely knew?
The one who supported my education and believed in me, unlike some people.
Well then, there won't be any complicated rental contract to deal with. It'll be easy for James and his family to move in.
Excuse me? You can't just do that.
Oh, please. You're just the second son's wife. You can't tell me what I can't do. James is my firstborn. He deserves a proper home for his family.
And what about Michael, your other son?
Michael will understand. He always does. Besides, he's used to moving around, isn't he? All those transfers.
Those transfers were promotions.
If you say so. Give it to James and his family. Frankly, I don't want to live with my cold second son. And I don't like you either. We'll use the house instead of you, so you two need to leave.
Is that so? All right then, I hope you're sure about this.
Of course I am. Well, I was going to kick you out anyway. But thanks for being so agreeable about it. I thought you'd put up more of a fight.
You taught me something important over the years.
Oh? What's that?
To choose my battles. Either way, I have just one request.
What? You're hardly in a position to make demands.
Promise you'll never contact us again.
Really? That's all? You're making this too easy.
Is that a yes?
Of course. That's perfect. Actually, you're too easy. I should have known you'd cave. You were always spineless.
Like that time I caved and paid for Michael's father's medical bills?
That was different. You have an obligation to our family.
Funny how obligations only go one way.
Well, now that my brilliant James is back, I don't need my failure of a second son anymore. I only kept in touch with you two because James was gone. He's the only one I consider my real son.
And Karen? What about her history?
Karen is a wonderful mother. So what if she has a few past indiscretions? Everyone deserves a fresh start.
Oh, remember you said that.
Go ahead and do whatever you like. Just don't come near our house ever again. I don't want anything to do with you two failures. Karen, how long is it going to take you to come back from the convenience store? It's been hours.
God, stop texting me every 5 minutes.
I'm texting because you've been gone for so long. Your son is crying. He needs his mother.
Then give him something to eat and shut him up. Isn't that why you're here?
I've tried. He won't accept any food from me.
Not my problem. I am busy.
Busy? At the convenience store?
I ran into some friends. We're having coffee.
But what about lunch for James? He'll be home soon.
Make it yourself, you fat cow. You can move for your precious grandson, right? Or are you only capable when you're trying to steal houses from people?
I never stole anything. This house rightfully belongs to my James.
Right. Keep telling yourself that.
You should show more respect. I gave up everything for you and James.
Did anyone ask you to? You just bulldozed your way in, like always.
How dare you? Who do you think paid off your debts? I sold my house to help you.
Oh, here we go again with the martyr act. I sold my house. I gave up everything.
It was $200,000, my retirement savings.
You did that on your own. James just mentioned we were having trouble, and you acted all noble about it. Did we ask you to sell your house?
What? You'd promise you'd come back if I cleared your debts.
Never said that. You are such a plain old hag, always twisting things around.
Watch your mouth. I take a lot more care with my appearance than other women my age do. Thanks to that, I look much younger than my real age. And besides, James said that he needed the money.
James says a lot of things. You're just too stupid to see through them. Just like you can't see how embarrassing you look with that thick eyeliner and the thick eyebrows you draw on. And that skin-tight dress, it's hilarious just watching you waddle around in that thing.
He wouldn't lie to his own mother.
Like he didn't lie about the casino debt or the money he took from Michael.
That was different. He was going through a rough patch.
We're always going through a rough patch, and suckers like you keep bailing us out.
I'm your mother-in-law.
Yeah, and I'm stuck with you, living in this dump of a house that you stole from your other son.
Get out! Get out of my house right this instant. I don't want you coming back here.
What? Why should I? I'm not going anywhere. Unfortunately for you, I'm not as obedient as Sarah is. I'm not listening to any of your orders. If anything, if you don't like me, then why don't you pack yourself up and get out?
Excuse me? I'm the one that received this house from Sarah, not you. I don't have any reason to leave. It's thanks to me that you can even live in a house like this.
And I'm supposed to be impressed? I would have preferred to stay in a high-rise apartment. I'm just living here because the rent is free.
Anyway, I want you to prepare tonight's dinner.
Oh, no can do. I'm going to eat out with James. You'll have to take care of Evan while we're out.
What? Karen, wait a minute. Don't ignore me. Come back right now. Sarah, where do you live now? Tell me your address. I'm coming over.
Really? What happened to never contact us again?
This is different. I need help.
Like Michael needed help when James stole his savings?
That's not fair. Just tell me, are you still living in a hotel? If so, get me a room too.
Why would you need a hotel room?
I can't live in that house anymore. Karen is impossible, making me do all the housework, insulting me. Even James takes her side.
The perfect son takes his wife's side? Oh, how shocking.
She makes me cook, clean, do laundry. I'm not a maid.
Funny, isn't that exactly what you expected me to do for you?
That was different. I'm family.
And what am I?
Please, Sarah. After I gave them everything, they spend all day gambling and shopping. I don't have any money for the grocery shopping.
They're gambling?
Just small amounts, mostly.
Define mostly.
It's not important. What's important is I need somewhere to go.
So she turned out exactly as I expected.
You knew? You knew she would treat me this way?
I only met her recently since I married Michael after James disappeared, but I could tell within minutes.
How? She seemed so sweet.
Sweet? She called your cooking trailer park cuisine at our first meeting.
She was nervous.
She's commanding, explosive when challenged, and pushes all responsibilities onto others. Sound familiar?
What are you implying?
Remember when you said I was useless for having a career? Or when you told Michael he was a disappointment for not earning as much as James?
That's completely different.
Is it? You raised James to be entitled. Karen's just better at it than you expected.
But I'm his mother.
And I was your daughter-in-law. Funny how karma works.
Please, let me live with you instead. I've learned my lesson. They're too horrible. James has changed since he married that woman.
Have you really learned your lesson?
I'll treat Michael better. I'll listen to you. I have nothing left. No home, no money.
Like when Michael had nothing left after James took his savings?
That was years ago. I have no one else to turn to. Please, I realize just how wonderful you are. I want to live with you and Michael. You've always worked hard on the chores. You've got common sense. You're kind and you're so generous. I preferred living with you, honestly.
Well, I didn't like living with you, and I never want to live with you ever again. I just endured your treatment because you're Michael's mother. And you were more verbally abusive towards him than you were to me. I don't know how successful James used to be, but Michael's always the one that's helping you, and yet you never praise him for what he's done for you.
Well, James really is a wonderful son. I can't help but remember all the things he's done for me.
Even so, you shouldn't praise him at the cost of belittling your younger son. I've done what I can to be nice to you and try and improve your impression of us, but you've never been grateful for anything we've done. We let you stay in our home, and then you invited James and his family to stay without our permission, and even kicked us out to make way for them. There's no way I'd agree to let you live with us again after everything you've done.
I'm so sorry. I realized that what I did was terrible. I'll cut ties with James and his wife, so please, tell me where you're living.
No, we promised that we wouldn't bother each other anymore. I'm sticking to that.
Can't you forget about that? I never thought that things would turn out the way they did.
We're actually living in a luxury high-rise now.
What? That's impossible.
Why impossible?
Michael's company isn't even famous. His salary can't be that high. He's not capable enough.
That's where you're wrong. He works very hard and earns well. He's a regional director now.
Regional director? My Michael?
Your Michael who you never believed in? Yes, plus I'm working too.
Even with 2 incomes.
I'm a certified accountant. I'm doing well and planning to start my own practice soon.
An accountant? But you were just a
what? A housewife? The one you constantly criticized for wanting a career? I've actually become independent and have managed to make it this far because of my own hard work. Are you surprised?
I never knew.
Of course not. You were never interested in either of us. You only reached out when you needed money or help, and you were always trying to control us.
But all those times I cooked for you.
You mean all the times you criticized my cooking while eating at our table?
I was trying to help.
Like you helped by giving away our house?
Then let me be your housekeeper. You must be busy with work. I could help. What do you think?
We already have a housekeeper, a professional one.
You're paying a stranger when family could?
Family? Oh, now we're family?
Well, aren't we? You were always so kind to me.
I just didn't see the point in arguing with you when you never listened to me. And by the way, I have sold the land that's under the house you're living in.
You what?
Did I stutter?
But James and Karen?
Should have read the property records more carefully.
Sold? The house where we're living?
Yes, it's my property. Did you think I'd just let you have it? I thought it was pretty good timing to move our stuff out and prepare to get it on the market.
But you agreed. You said we could live here.
I agreed to leave. I never said you could keep the house.
That's...
Sneaky, underhanded. Oh, like showing up unannounced with moving trucks?
You can't do this.
I already have. I only let you stay there as a convenient way to cut ties with all of you.
What will happen to us?
You can stay until the end of the month. Demolition starts next month, so take your belongings and leave.
Demolition?
The developer paid very well. They're building luxury condos.
But where will we go?
Perhaps James can use his investment skills to find a place.
Sarah, please. We can work something out.
Like you worked things out with me. Pack your things and leave by the weekend. Wasn't that what you said?
That was different.
You're right. You gave me a weekend. I'm giving you a month. I'm more generous than you.
Michael would never allow this.
Michael knows everything. He's the one who suggested the developer.
My own son?
Your failure of a son. The one you never thought would amount to anything. Anyway, this is goodbye. Michael and I don't want to have anything to do with you, and we're going to live happily without you from now on. The next month, the demolition started on my old house. It seems that my mother-in-law and her family finally moved out once they received a notification letter from the demolition company a week before it was scheduled to begin. I later learned from a former neighbor that Margaret, James, Karen, and their child moved into a small apartment in the outskirts of the city. Apparently, neither James nor Karen have found work and have spent all of the money they have on gambling, while my mother-in-law takes care of their son, Evan, and does the housework. She earns money by working from home, making boxes. I'm sure she's finally enjoying living with the son she loved so much and must be so proud of what he's become. As for Michael and I, our relationship has just gotten stronger as we've dealt with the obstacles that his family has thrown at us. And I hope that we can build a happy little family of our own in peace.